Hi guys, today I'm here to do my July movie wrap-up. I watched quite a few movies in July. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the theater, but I did watch quite a few that I really liked at home. The first movie that I watched was Bastille Day. This is Idris Elba and Richard Madden. There's a terrorist attack in Paris and they blame this one guy and it turns out to not be him, and the two of them decide to get together and take down these terrorists. I know this didn't get a lot of great reviews, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really action-packed and I liked the two lead actors, and I gave this one 3 stars. Then I watched Shut In. This is about a boy who gets in an accident and he can't move, and his mother has to take care of him every single day, and she kind of gets fed up with it, but she decides that she wants to kind of raise this other boy, and he goes missing and she has to kind of figure out where he went, and weird things start happening in the house. I thought this was a really good, suspenseful, creepy movie, and I gave this 3.5 stars. Then I watched Goodbye Charlie. This is a movie from the 1960s. This has Tony Curtis and Debbie Reynolds in it, and I have always loved Tony Curtis, so I really wanted to pick this one up. This is about a man who is shot and dies and comes back as a woman, Debbie Reynolds, and he has to try and figure out how to get back into a man's body. I really liked this movie. I thought it was really funny, and it was a really clever storyline. I think if you like old movies from the 60s, that you should definitely check this one out. I gave this one 3 stars. Then I watched London Road. This is kind of like a musical, and it's actually taken from a true story of murders taking place on London Road. I watched the trailer and I thought it looked really weird, but I had seen a few people that had said that they really liked it, so I gave it a shot, and it was really unique, but I really liked it. I really like these kind of movies because it gets you interested in the actual story, so I spent the rest of my evening looking up the real story, but it was really unique and I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but I gave this one 3 stars. Then I watched Bowfinger. This was still right before I was doing my Steve Martin movies, and I hadn't watched Bowfinger, so I finally watched it and I thought it was absolutely hysterical. After watching this movie, I feel like I've quoted something from it like every single day. It really was a great Steve Martin movie, and I think Eddie Murphy's character was fantastic in it as well. If you haven't seen this, definitely watch it because it was hysterical, and I gave this one 4 stars. Then I watched The Final Girls. I thought this would be kind of like a cheesy teen movie, but it really turned out to be really good. This is about a group of kids who go to see a cult slasher movie, and while they're watching it, the theater catches fire, and they go through the screen to escape, and they end up in the movie. I thought this was actually really well done. Of course there were cheesy parts, but you knew that they were cheesy because they actually pointed it out. All of the characters acted like you would have if you had been thrown into a movie. They knew everything that was going to happen because they had seen it so many times. But again, this was a really unique movie and I really enjoyed it. I gave this one 3 stars. Then I watched Parenthood, another Steve Martin movie. I know I had seen bits of it when I was younger, but I didn't remember most of it. But after watching it, I was a little disappointed. It just really wasn't anything great, and I gave this one 2.5 stars. Then I watched The Little Shop of Horrors. Again, I watched this because it was a Steve Martin movie, but I am so glad that I picked it up. I've heard a lot about this, and I know that it's pretty popular, but I had no idea it was even a musical until they started singing. This movie really took me by surprise, and I really loved it. I gave it 4 stars. Then I watched Everybody Wants Some. This is about a group of boys who play baseball, and they just got to college. I didn't realize it was about baseball. I thought it was a group of boys in the 80s that go to college, so I thought it'd be kind of fun and would probably have a good soundtrack. But the more they talked about baseball, the more I really hated it. It really had good potential, but it just wasn't for me. I gave this one 2 stars. Then I watched The Keeping Room. Yusuf had just done a review on this, and I thought I'd pick it up. This is about 3 girls who live alone because all of the men have gone off to war. But then 2 drunk men decide to come into town and pillage the town, and these girls have to fend for themselves and protect their house. Again, this isn't something that I would normally watch, but I'm really glad that I checked it out. I gave this one 3.5 stars. Then I went to my brother's house and he put in The Good Dinosaur. He really liked that movie and I thought I would really enjoy it. My sister-in-law actually pointed out that the story is The Lion King, and while watching it, I realized how similar they were. I know a lot of people really like this movie, but I don't see the appeal in it, and I gave this one 1.5 stars. Then, while I was at my brother's house, I rewatched The Fantastic Mr. Fox and The Darjeeling Limited. I love both of those movies. They are both rewatches for me. And the last movie that I watched was Wilson. I just found this at my library and thought it sounded kind of interesting. This is Woody Harrelson, who's a middle-aged man. He's divorced and he doesn't have any friends. He decides to go find his ex-wife and see if she'll get back together with him. I really like this movie, but I do like Woody Harrelson, so I kind of knew that I would probably like it anyway. I thought this was pretty funny, and I thought it was a cute story. It wasn't really anything to be remembered, but I gave this one 3 stars. Okay, so those are the movies that I watched in July. Let me know what your favorite movie was that you saw in July, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!